Transistor is a semiconducting device which is used to amplify a weak signal. There are two types of transistors. One is called unipolar junction transistor. We call it as UJT. And second one is bipolar junction transistor, or it is called as BJT. Now in a unipolar junction transistor, the current is due to only one type of charge carriers, either electrons or holes. But here the current is due to two types of charge carriers, either electrons and holes. Now, in a bipolar junction transistor, you can treat a bipolar junction transistor as two diodes connected back to back. There are two types of bipolar junction transistors. One is called NPN transistor and second one is PNP transistor. A bipolar junction transistor consists of three regions, N, P, N. Here P, N and P region. A NPN transistor or a bipolar junction transistor can be treated as two diodes connected back to back. Say a NPN transistor. It can be treated like this, two diodes connected like this. Now there are three terminals here. This is called as emitter, this is called as collector, and this is called as the base. Or I can rewrite this as in another form. This is one diode, this is another diode. See, this is one diode, this is N region, this is a P region, and this is another PN diode, where the P region of this and P region of this is merged together. This is therefore P region and this is N region. Now this is collector, this is base, and this is the emitter. Now since the base is of same type, we can merge it together to have this N region, this P region, and this N region. This is called as emitter, this is called as base, and this is called as the collector. Now similarly, a PNP transistor. This is one diode and this is another diode. This is the P region, N region and P region. This is the emitter, this is the base, and this is the collector. We can rewrite this as two diodes like this. This is P, N, and here N, P, emitter, base, and collector. And these two regions are merged. So we can have the structure like this. This is P region, this is N region, and this is P region. This is emitter, this is the base, and this is the collector. So this is a NPN transistor, this is the PNP transistor. Now a transistor, bipolar junction transistor, is a 3-region 2-junction transistor which can amplify in oscillators, in switches. So these are the applications of a transistor. The symbol of a transistor. A NPN transistor, it is like this. This is the base, this is the collector, this is the emitter. Now collector and emitter of same type. See, here this is the emitter, this is the base, and this is the collector. Now collector and the emitter is of same type. Now how to differentiate? By having an arrow. You connect an arrow to the emitter always. Now in a NPN transistor, the arrow is outwards. This arrow indicates the direction of conventional current. So in a NPN transistor, the current flows from the collector to the emitter. In a PNP transistor, you take PNP, you reverse the arrow. Arrow should be inwards now. This is the base, this is the collector, and this is the emitter. So in a PNP transistor, the current flows from the emitter to the collector. Now let us take a NPN transistor. This is a NPN transistor, this is the emitter, this is the base, and this is the collector. Now why the name emitter, base, and the collector? Emitter emits the charge carriers, collector collects the charge carriers. Base will control the flow of charge carriers from the emitter to the collector. Now in NPN transistor, which are the charge carriers here? This is the N region, so the charge carriers are electrons. So electrons are the majority charge carriers, and those are emitted, and those emitted electrons will be collected by the collector, and the amount of charge carriers are controlled by the base. The three regions are of not the same size. Even the doping concentration is also not the same. You take a region, next doping concentration, and physical dimension. Let us take emitter. Emitter is heavily doped. That is, more number of majority charge carriers are in the emitter. So emitter is heavily doped, so there are more number of electrons as far as an NPN transistor is concerned. Now the dimension of this is moderate. That is, the size is between the emitter, base, and the collector. Base is lightly doped and thin, and collector, it is moderately doped and large in size. So base is lightly doped, which is of type P, very less number of majority charge carriers, and collector is moderately doped and large. So the number of charge carriers, that is electrons, are lesser compared to the emitter but more compared to the base. This junction is called emitter base junction, and this junction is called collector base junction. For the proper working of a transistor, emitter base junction should be forward biased. This is the N side, so lower potential should be connected to the emitter, higher potential should be connected to the base. This junction is now forward biased, and emitter base junction should be reverse biased. So this is the reverse bias. See, the higher potential is connected to N side and lower potential is connected to P side. Now this junction become reverse bias. Now this is for the proper working of the transistor. Depending on the biasing combinations of emitter base and collector base, the transistor can behave in different ways. So let us say emitter base junction and collector base junction here. If both are reverse biased, reverse, the transistor acts as an open switch. Both are forward, the transistor acts as a closed switch. Emitter base junction forward, collector base junction reverse, it acts as an amplifier. Normally the transistor used as an amplifier, that is why this is the biasing scheme. To understand the working of a NPN transistor, you take this transistor structure. Emitter base junction is forward biased, collector base junction is reverse biased. Here, when the emitter base junction is forward biased, so this diode becomes forward biased. Now the electrons which are in the emitter are repelled by the negative of the battery, so those electrons will move toward the base. So let us take one example. Let us say 100 electrons are emitted when you forward bias this. So we have to apply a voltage greater than 0.7 volt as far as the silicon is concerned. So let us say 100 electrons are emitted. Those 100 electrons will go towards the base, and in this region there will be the flow of electrons, and this flow of electrons constitute a current called emitter current. Emitter current represented by IE. So this emitter current is due to 100 electrons. Those 100 electrons cross the junction, and see here there are only 5 holes because the base is lightly doped, so very few majority charge carriers. Out of 100 electrons, only 5 electrons will recombine with the holes, and after recombination those electrons will go in this way, and finally those are collected by the positive of this VEE. Now there are remaining 95 electrons. Those 95 electrons will be attracted by the positive of VCC, because this is a positive of the battery. So this is here there are remaining 95 electrons. So those 95 electrons are attracted by the positive of this battery. So remaining 95 electrons will go toward this, toward the positive of VCC. So here very few number of electrons flow in the base, constituting the base current IB. So this IB is due to 5 electrons, not holes, electrons. So remaining 95 will be collected by this positive of the battery, and those electrons go through the collector, so constitute the collector current represented by IC, those due to 95 electrons. Now this is the direction of movement of charge carriers. See here, emitter emits the charge carriers, collector collects those charge carriers. What is the current equation? The transistor current equation is IE is equal to IB plus IC. Here the emitter current is the largest one, that is why because the emitter is heavily doped, and the collector current is a little bit lesser because it is moderately doped, and the base current is the least because base region is lightly doped. Suppose the base region is heavily doped, let us say. Now what will happen? Instead of 5 electrons, 25 holes are there. So out of 100 electrons, 25 electrons will recombine, and those will come here, and remaining 75 only will be collected. Now we want more and more electrons to be collected by the collector, then only current will be more. So that is the reason why the base is lightly doped. If the base is larger, when the electrons are moving through the base, the electrons get more time. When the electrons get more time, the chance of recombination with the holes will become more. Therefore base current becomes more, and again the collector current become lesser. That is the reason why the base is lightly doped and thin, and why the collector is large. When the charge carriers are collected, there will be lot of power dissipation. If the region is or the area is lesser, then the heat will be more and it cannot be dissipated. So if the area is larger, the heat will be equally distributed, and the chance of spoiling the diode or the transistor will be lesser. That is why the collector is large in size. Now what is the direction of flow of current? This is the direction of charge carriers from the emitter to the collector. Here the electrons are going away from the or into the emitter. So the emitter current is out of the emitter. If I write the symbol of a NPN transistor, emitter current is out of the emitter because electrons are going into the emitter. So the current is out of the emitter. So this is the emitter current, IE. What is the base current? Electrons are coming out of the base, so current is into the base. So this is the direction of IB. Collector current will be, the electrons are going out of the collector, so current is into the collector. So current is into the collector. So these are the three directions of flow of current. See, the current flows from the collector to the emitter. That is why the arrow is outwards. These are the current due to the majority charge carriers. Now if you see this diode is reverse biased. When the diode is reverse biased, you know there will be small amount of current flows that is due to the minority charge carriers. Now here in this case, what is the direction of minority charge carrier current? The minority charge carriers are electrons. Here the minority charge carriers are holes. Here the electrons will go in this way. Minority charge carriers. The majority charge carriers also go in this way. Minority charge carriers also go in this way. So the two currents will get added up. So the total collector current will be now IC total. That is equal to IC due to majority charge carriers plus IC due to minority charge carriers. And this minority charge carrier current is called reverse saturation current. We can write it as ICO. Now when you can calculate this ICO, if you forward bias this, you cannot calculate. So what you have to do is you have to stop the supply of the electrons from the emitter. You reverse bias this, then the electrons will flow in this way, holes will flow in this way. Then only we can measure. That is why this is called as ICO. IC, there is a collector current flowing when the emitter is open. Therefore, total IC, that is equal to the current due to majority charge carriers plus ICO. So here anyway, therefore IE is equal to IB plus IC majority plus IC minority.